LGBT history will be taught in California elementary schools. The State Board of Education has voted in favor of creating a curriculum for second and fourth grade students outlining California's gay rights movement. They will also learn about families with two moms or two dads. The decision comes 5 years after California lawmakers passed legislation to add LGBT Americans to a list of ethnic groups included in textbook history lessons for kindergarten through 8th grades. That's our topic this half hour. We want to hear from you on our Fox 26 Facebook page and on Twitter. Be sure to use the hashtag Fox26forlife. Joining us live in the newsroom is our panel led by our Fox 26 senior legal analyst Chris Tritico. We also have former U.S. Congressman Chris Bell and Republican strategist and public policy analyst Jackie Bally. So what do you guys think about this, and could it spread to other states?
Well, this is really a part of a broader law in California that their State Board of Education passed, and included within that is the part that includes the LBGT. I don't know why I never can say that acronym.
LGBT.
Thank you, Chris Bell. What did I say? Oh, well. See? History and include with that, and talking about accomplishments that's been made within that community. And so I don't know who's up. It's not championing their rights. It's talking about accomplishments that's been made within that community that have helped all of us. And do you see a problem with that?
You're going to have some parents who have issues. You already see parents who are challenging it, in part because not only are they talking about the persons who are from the LGBT community who have done positive things, but they're also talking about, are you gay, or is it a choice, or is this a lifestyle that you could have? And that's the objection that I've seen so far the parents in California in this particular district are objecting to. And of course, as we saw in Houston, whenever we saw an ordinance change that was proposed, you're going to hear from people saying that this goes against their religious principles. They were raised a certain way, and those were the arguments that were brought forward to the district as well. You're going to see a couple of lawsuits on this one.
I'm
You're
shocked.
going to continue to be gainfully employed.
I'm stunned that there's going to be a lawsuit over this. Do you see, really, Chris, what's the issue with in a school discussing the fact that it's here, it's not going away, and here's the history of this. You've got these rights, you've got these groups that champion these rights, and here's some things that have happened within this community.
Well, this will shock you too. I don't really see a big issue here. Look, I've been either covering politics or involved in politics for over 30 years now, and there's not a more extraordinary part of our history in recent times than what has happened in the LGBT community. It is a part of our history, and people should be informed. How it's like, are you going to leave out the civil rights movement and what happened there? I mean, this has really been the civil rights battle of my generation, and so I do think young people should be informed of what has occurred and what has transformed here in the last century.
And Jackie, it'd be kind of a shame to ignore it, wouldn't it? I mean, how can you ignore something that went on?
Well, it's funny that we talk about this as a civil rights movement, because the group that you're going to see the most pushback are from people of color, in particularly African Americans, and they really do not like the fact that many people are saying that the LGBT community should be in the same classification or same group as they are. I've seen so many African Americans who've argued against this, and they've said, I was born black, they weren't born gay, they should not be classified as I am. So the fact that it is a civil rights movement, that's the movement we see going forward. The people who share that classification with them are going to be the ones who give it the most pushback.
There's a whole lot of people in that community that would disagree whether or not they were born that way, or whether it's a civil rights movement. Let me go to Sally. She's monitoring our social media. I wonder if we got anything on this.
We've got both sides of the aisle on this. Okay, first tweet here. Teaching children about LGBT and history are the most beautiful words to my ears. It's so important to be educated about important topics and issues. The Attorney General in California tweeted out, glad that the California schools are becoming more inclusive and are highlighting our nation's diverse history. And now to the other side. This person says, another assault on our culture and youth. Second graders are too young to be subjected to that material. Teach them the 3 R's. And Kay Mosetti says, I suggest all parents pull their kids out of California public schools and start homeschooling.
Actually, I wonder, yeah, I never thought anybody would take that position. I'm just wondering now, Sally asked the question earlier, Chris Bell, I'm just wondering, do you think the Texas State Board of Education is inclusive as they have been in history, or is going to adopt this and bring it into Texas?
Well, I think the State Board of Education here always looks to California for guidance, and I think they're going to fall right in line, and we'll have this any day now. But in all seriousness, California does lead the way on a lot of these movements, and I do think that's why you hear people talking about it, because they know that other states are going to look and say, we've got to catch up. And at some point, Texas will decide that we have to teach history too.
He's right. A lot of these laws you see starting out in California. The whole marijuana discussion that we've had for the last 3 years started out in California. Whenever we saw same-sex marriages, that started out in California. So you do see a lot of the changes starting out in California. You do. You actually do. And you see that our state is one of the last ones usually to adopt it. Based on our leaders that we have right now, they will fight it. I don't see that happening in Texas under our current leadership, but you never know what's going to happen in 20 or 30 years.
That's true, and we'll see where it goes. All right, we'll be back in about 15 minutes with another really good topic, but get ready, because we're going to be live on Facebook and get your questions ready in 5 minutes, because we're going to answer them.
Oh, that should be a lot of fun, very entertaining. I'll have to go back and watch it later. Okay, thanks guys, appreciate it. We'll see you soon.